Hi, I'm Steve Hermon and I'm a broadcast journalist for BBC Radio WM.
08081 009956 to get involved with the phone, and we'll get back into it after your news headlines with Steve Hermon.
Police investigating the 1974 Birmingham pub bombings have made their first arrest in decades. A 65-year-old man was arrested at his home in Belfast this morning.
I'm going to go for the cheesy answer first, which is my dad. But he worked within radio stations, taking bands into radio stations for interviews and things like that, arranging competitions. So because of his job as a music promoter, that gave me access to radio stations, and I was just fascinated with them, with the studios, looking at everything there and just listening to all the different people talk. And really, I gravitated towards football commentary. I'd always watch Match of the Day, John Motson.
Michael Owen for England, it's a great chance, and he scored!
Now, recently, someone like John Murray, he's a football commentator for BBC Radio 5 Live, and I respect him massively. One of the greatest picture painters, as we call it, because in radio, you can't see. We have to paint that picture for you. And that is what I love about radio. And John Murray is the best, in my opinion. So after I finished school with my GCSEs, I could have done A-levels. So I could have done English at an A-level, for example. But I chose to go for a GMVQ. I'm not even sure if they exist anymore. I would say the equivalent now is probably a BTEC. And it was a GMVQ in Media, Communication and Production Studies. I got some experience at community radio stations. Now there, people aren't full-time paid. It's very much on a voluntary basis and some dedicated volunteers at that. So I did something at Wolverhampton Community Radio, which is still in existence on the New Hampton Road, not far from Molyneux. And I also did something with a radio station called Kids in Communication, otherwise known as Kick FM. It broadcast from a bright yellow trailer. You get that bug, that radio bug, and that's what I got, but you then need some professional experience. So I did some work experience placements. My year 10 work placement, this is going back a little bit, but that was actually at BBC Radio WM in the sports department. So it's quite nice to look back on now that 22 years later, my word, but 22 years later, I'm now doing football commentary on BBC Radio WM.
Plays it to Saka, he shoots! Bottom left-hand corner, makes it look so easy!
But then I also did a journalism degree. So when I turned 18, I went to Edge Hill University, which is in the northwest near Liverpool. And I did a journalism degree there for 3 years. Then went back into getting more work experience. And eventually, 15 months after I graduated, someone gave me a chance. And the key advice here is don't give up, because it takes a while. You don't get paid very much. But eventually someone will give you a chance and you'll be able to prove yourself. And I'm glad to say that 15 years in, after my first full-time opportunity, I'm still doing this as a job and I love it.
England play Iceland tonight, but have missed the chance to reach the finals of the Nations League. That's, of course, after they lost to Belgium.
Put very simply, my main job is to read the news. And then we have different ways of accessing stories after that. We can get it off BBC News Television, other BBC radio stations. We have a feed of news that comes in as well. And, of course, we have reporters working out and about getting interviews and stories for us. I do occasionally get the opportunity to get out and about reporting, do some live reporting. So it's very varied, and that's what I love about the job. Every day is different. When I was 16, I wrote down on a piece of paper a few different goals that I wanted to achieve, and they were all related to football. One of them was I wanted to become a football commentator. I've done that. Another one, I wanted to commentate on the Wolves specifically.
Looking to loop the ball over the wall and past Jordan Pickford, he steps up and never strikes it! Welcome to the Premier League, Ruben Neves and Wolverhampton Wanderers. An absolutely beautiful goal from the wonder kid from Porto.
Also, a bit more wider, these were the two very ambitious goals, and you never know. Commentate on Match of the Day, and the final one, the big one, is to commentate at a World Cup. If I could do that, That would be absolutely amazing.
And that's your news for Birmingham and the Black Country.